Morning, everybody. Welcome. Come on, Sadie. Let's go. We gotta go. Sadie and Bud gotta do their morning sniff. They gotta just do a little sniff on everything, and then we're good to go. Once they do the sniff, then we can head out. So today we got some adventures, some more adventures, some of my crazy adventures, right? Got a call on some waterfront property in Bakersfield. We got a call for, it's almost 5 acres, 3 lots. There's two 1 acre lots, just slightly over 1 acre. And then there's another one that's almost 2.5 acres. So it's just under 5 acres total, 3 separate lots, waterfront property in Bakersfield. Okay. And I'll tell you how much I got it for, all 3, later in the video, because we're heading out there right now, and I'm kind of excited about it because it's so cheap, and we don't really even have the extra money for it right now, but you can't get land anymore, and these lots were so cheap. Come on, bud, let's go. We gotta go. They were so cheap, I couldn't say no. But I said yes on the phone last night. I looked him up on Onyx Hunt, and I also come on, guys, let's go. I did some research on the assessor's parcel, and I just made sure that the ownership was good and taxes are paid, and there's not going to be any kind of encumbrances on the stuff. Let's go. Come on. So we're on a mission this morning. We're going to go check these lots out. Again, waterfront property, guys. So I'll show you what I mean by waterfront property. But also, we got our plans last night from Mike. He brought those over. Mike Hunter, one of my good friends. He helps me with planning, development. He's a well-known, respected figure in the construction community around here in Bakersfield, and I've worked with him for 20 years. I actually used to work for him at a company that I was a superintendent for. He's still with that company, and when I was working for that company was when I kind of decided to go out on my own. And during the course of the four years that I worked for them, I learned a lot about commercial construction. I did some pretty intense projects in Mojave, like airplane hangar, one of the largest airplane hangars in the United States. And that hangar was for the I can't even think of the name of it, but it was one of Jeff Bezos' partners. And then also Richard Branson was out there too with his space thing. The hangar that we built was for the largest aircraft. It had one of the largest hangar doors on it. It was 300 feet across when you opened up the hangar all the way through, and you could back that plane in there. And the plane was 2 747 fuselages, like married together with a little wing in the middle, and then like almost a 300-foot wingspan on that plane. You can look that one up. It's in the Mojave airport there, and the guy was partners with Jeff Bezos, and they do they're like SpaceX or any of these other guys. They're trying to get to space, which you all know my theory on space, but we're not gonna go into that right now. Worked on that project with the I got off on a completely different thing, but worked on that project, learned a lot working for those guys, learned how to run a large general contracting company by basically working with them and seeing all the intricate parts and pieces needed to essentially be a paper contractor, because that's what they are. They manage, and everything they do is like for a 5% margin. So it doesn't matter what, if you have to order a set of plans and send them to the job, they'll do all that, and they charge 5%. They charge 5% for the, whatever the cost of. It's a real transparent way of doing things. It's pretty cool how they do it. They show you what they're paying all the people that are involved. They show you all the, all of the subcontractor bids that you get. They kind of let you choose. A lot of times, you kind of work with them on who you want to go with for what trade, and everything's just 5%. So it doesn't matter, like if the electrical came in at $100,000, then they put their 5% on, and they also put 5% for their their project management and it ends up adding up to a lot of money on these bigger projects, because they do very large scale projects. It's definitely a cool way of doing things. And like I said, I learned a lot from those guys. And Mike, we still work together on a lot of side venture projects, being one of them, this one here. That is the 1,400 square foot ADU that we're going to be building up on the ranch, which, if you go back a few videos on Rancheria, we went and looked at the site. We walked the site with the owner, looked at a little history and things up there. So that one's getting ready to go into plan check, and hopefully, we can get a permit fairly quickly and be started on that by the fall. And that's going to be a nice little project for down here. And I've already had Juan, our new guy. He's already seen the plans. He's already kind of put together some preliminary pricing for me. He showed me another project that he built, which was literally almost a spitting image of this one, and told me how much he was able to do that for. So with his skill set, he's right in line with our budgets of where we need to be. These margins down here are a lot thinner, so you have to do a lot more volume to make money in Bakersfield. But fortunately, there is a lot more volume of stuff to do down here. So that's everything in a nutshell. We're gonna head out to these waterfront properties now, and excited to show you guys these properties, and we'll talk about them a little bit. We'll see kind of what, I don't even know exactly what they look like. I know the area, never been exactly to where these ones are. I'll have to use my Onyx hunt map to get us out there and actually put boots on the ground on these lots and see where they are in relation to this water that we have out there. So stick around, this one should be pretty interesting. We didn't make it out to the tiny home job yesterday, so I think we're gonna, since it's on the way to the waterfront property, we'll make a quick drive-by through there and have a look at what's been done in the last day or two. So this would be essentially, I guess it would be day 5, the start of day 5. Yesterday was day 4. He did send me some pictures, so I know they got some more stuff done yesterday. And I mean, I'm looking for drywall and paint like over the weekend and just out of there, We'll see if we get there. I think we are. I think we will get there. He was moving pretty good. All the hard stuff's done, so the septic is hooked up. It's all plumbed into the buildings. The power's all hooked up. I think you still got to do a connection at the meter. Put a breaker in and get that all tied out. But overall, I think we're looking pretty good over there. So let's go check that out first, and then we'll be out to some waterfront property on the west side. So everything's moving west in this town, and I'm talking. Everything's moving to the west. Now this place here is way west. It's also way cheap. So that's what makes it very, very intriguing, I should say. We'll get out there. I'll let you guys be the judge. Like I said, I'm not going to tell you how much until we get out there and actually start looking at it, and then I'll fill you in. I'll give you all the details. I already told you, the acreage. It's almost 5 acres, 3 lots. One big one at 2.5 acres. The other 2 are like 1.2. So it's a substantial amount of ground. And all of the lots around it are all, 1 acre, 2 acres. Some of them are 5, 6, 7 acre lots, but the whole parcel, there's a couple large parcels out there that are around 640 acres each. And those are all chopped up into all the way down into 1 acres. And a lot of them are chopped into 10s, 20s. And then this particular area where we're going, they're all chopped down into 1 acre, 2 acre. They're really small. So somebody had a plan at one point to do something out there as far as building homes or doing something. And it's already all parceled up. So getting your hands on 3 of these parcels and, just kind of sit around for 10 years, it could be one heck of an investment. Or, we're getting them so cheap, we turn right around and put them back on the market for, a nice profit and try and sell them quickly and just turn them around. Or you trade it to somebody for something else that you need. There's always somebody that would say, you know what, I could use an acre of land out there, especially for that price. I'll take it, and I'll see what's going to happen. I mean, I do it all the time. And it's fun. I love doing it. It's actually, it gets me really excited. I wish I could find more deals like this, because they're hard to find and they don't come across. I mean, a couple times a year, you'll get the call, and you got to be ready when you get the call. You got to have the money. You got to be ready to jump, because if you don't, he's going to go give it to somebody else for that same price, and they're going to get a good deal. So it's the constant chase. It's an adrenaline chase. It's almost like a drug. It's my version of drugs, I guess. Well, I decided to go ahead and get out here to that waterfront property first, because it's just too exciting, and it's going to be really hot today, so I'm going to get out here and spend my time in the desert first. So this thing, there's the 5 over there, the I-5, Interstate 5, and that's straight ahead up here. And the property, from my estimates from last night, is about, 6-7 miles to the west of the I-5. So we got to go through this little town called Buttonwillow, which is just on the outskirts of Bakersfield. Like I said, everything's moving west. I mean, it's not going to be out here for a while, but eventually, little pockets will get developed further and further. Buttonwillow was one of those pockets that they've done some things out there, and it's a place where you can get real estate for a really affordable price, and you can be in town in 15 minutes. So it's a nice alternative to the higher, Bakersfield pricing in the market. You just got to drive a little bit. So, and you're right by the corridor, the I-5 corridor. If you do travel frequently, you can hop on that. We just crossed over the 5. Here's an interesting little piece of history here. This is the Boswell facility, one of their facilities, and it's massive. You can see all these trailers. Those are for tomatoes. lot of where you get your ketchup from comes from places like this right here. They process tomatoes and they make all kinds of different products out of the tomato. Big farms, big farms out this way. Button Willow, the little quaint farm town here. Button Willow warehouse. So these properties are another 3 or 4 miles west. We're almost there. Beautiful farm ground out here. Lots of pistachios. A lot of farm ground. Now, you'll see quite the change when we get to where these properties are actually at. It's kind of undeveloped. It's a kind of a snapshot of what all this would have looked like prior to human civilization, because it's pretty much untouched. It's just raw ground. But you can see right here, nice development, and it's within just a few miles of where the stuff's at. As you can see, the scenery change in just a few short miles. It's nice and flat. That's one good thing. It's kind of surprising that they never continue to develop this farmland out here. The water's right there. The California aqueduct is going to be right there. Now this is interesting. I see a couple people that are setting up out here. And I see a trailer. So people are actually living out here. This is where the property is at, right over here. I see a bunch of RVs over there. Okay, well, I mean, honestly, for me, that just made the deal that much more intriguing. That means you got somebody out here. You get to know these guys. You got neighbors, and they can keep an eye on your stuff. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna look at, in relation to the property that we're looking at, like kind of how close it is to these two I'll call them encampments. We're gonna turn right here at the aqueduct and go up the aqueduct a little ways. So here you have it. This is the road leading out to the said properties. The aqueduct is right there, and it does have a fence that kind of tries to keep people out, but there's always people fishing here, always. People love to fish in this aqueduct. And then you got these encampments that are out here. These guys are living out here. Don't know. Sure, they must own the land. And I'm gonna get my map out here in just a quick second and see if I can't locate where we are in relation to the actual lots themselves. So right here, this guy's got a tent. He's got a tent set up and a little platform built with pallets. I don't know, it doesn't look like anybody's home right now. It says no trespassing. So there's a neighbor right there. Love it. I don't know, okay, so here's the deal. It's 3 lots. One of them's almost 2.5. The other 2 are 1.2. It's like 4.87 total. 3 combined lots, and they're asking $15,000 for all 3. So I don't know where else you can get an acre or more of land in California for $15,000, let alone just 1 acre. You know, I think one of these would probably easily hit the market for around 10 or 15,000. The 2.5 acre might go for a little bit more, 25,000. So you're roughly looking at a $45,000 return on a $15,000 investment. And I think that's very realistic. That's a very realistic number. Now we are getting kind of far away from the canal, and we got to go way over there because the lots are actually over there. They actually touch the canal. They touch the canal property. So they're farming some hay right here. There's plenty of water because you got the aqueduct right there. So you can see all the irrigation stuff. I'm looking at a coyote right now. He's out there in the middle of that field. He's just hanging out. It might be a dog. I thought it was a coyote, but he's pretty big. Where'd he go? See if I can see him. Oh, he was turned broadside to me. There he goes. Now he's running. I'm gonna stop. He's on to me. He knows. But I'm gonna see if I can zoom in on him. Oh, now he's really on the move. There he is. He knows I'm watching him. Probably gets shot at out here, I would imagine. He's out messing around there. Anyway, we got to keep going, probably about a mile that way. I can see the canal running all through here, and we got to get over to about right there is where I'm thinking, looking at my map. So we're going to see if we can make our way over there. All right, guys, here it is. So right here, this is the 1 acre parcel. It's a rectangular shape. Dogs are actually out on the property itself. One thing I didn't ask him is about the mineral right out here, is if it came with it or not. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. But as you can see, this is native ground, untouched. This is how all of this ground looked like when they first settled out here, and like you were a farmer and you were going to come out and start you a farm, and you'd find, I mean, look how vast this area is. And that's how these farms got so big, because this is all nice and flat. You literally bring, and this is what we might probably do, is bring our dozer and our disc out here one day just for fun. And, you know, bring the disc out, cut this road along the fence line all the way down to this property, disc out the perimeter of this property. I'll mark it, you know, and I'll disc it all out. It's 1 acre. Get this all disced up, make 3 or 4 passes on it, and have it all disced up real nicely. And those housing encampments are way over there, like at least a couple of miles, way over there. And then here, this is the aqueduct. You can see the spoil pile from when they dug it. It's a nice berm that just runs off right there. So the property touches that fence line right there, and that's takes you right into California aqueduct property. And like I said, you're technically not supposed to be on it, but everybody goes fishing. There's a bridge system over here. We're gonna go out a different way. We're gonna try to find our way out to the north and just see if there's any better access. So here's the one parcel here. The other 2 are about another half a mile up the road, and they are actually together, so they actually touch each other. Then it's a 2.5 acre one and the other 1.2. But for $15,000 for all 3 of these, and if you just put a little bit of diesel and time, disc them up, make them look a little bit pretty, I can't see how somebody wouldn't pick one of these up. I mean, you come out here and camp, you can hunt. Nobody's gonna bother you out here hunting or anything. There's nobody around. There's nobody here. No one. No trash out here. So that was one of the things I was worried about, is people being able to come out here and dump trash. And being how far it is off the main corridor, you don't have any of that. There's literally none of that going on. There's no trash. Clean as can be. A guy can't go wrong to get all 3 of these for $15,000. I'll keep you guys abreast in the loop on how things go. I'm gonna get them bought over the weekend. I'm actually gonna go get a cashier's check here in a couple hours and have the complete transaction done by Monday. And I'm gonna call my realtor and I'm gonna list the 1 acre parcels at 24,000, owner carry. So you come in at 24,900. You give me 10% down, and it's going to be 10% interest only payment per month. So it's like a $200 or $300 payment. And when you get the money to pay it off, you can pay it off. If you decide to walk away from it, I've got my first $2,500 return on my investment. And I bet you I'll have all 3 of these sold in a month. And I'll carry the paper on whoever wants to buy them. And then I'll get me a little $200-300 a month coming in off each one. The taxes on this, was it was $12 a year for this one. They're like $12 a piece for these properties. $12 a year in California. I mean, you got farm ground everywhere right there. I think for the right person that's looking to, you can go fishing right here. Now, I'm not saying you're supposed to do that, but everybody does. And you can eat right out of the canal. You can have your, you don't even have to leave out here. You just have to go get water once in a while. But I'll tell you, I could walk right over there. It's less than 100 yards. That's the canal. In fact, I'm gonna try and find a spot where the fence might be opened up. I'm not gonna mess up the fence or anything, but I'm gonna try to go through it and take the dogs up by the canal, and hopefully Sadie doesn't try and get in it. But yeah, Sadie and Bud love this. Where are you at? They love exploring. So I let them get out and burn up some energy. And I don't know where she went. She's trying to get under my wheels. Let them explore a little bit. We'll do some exploring. But so we're getting up here to this, it's like a bridge section or some kind of something. I see pavement. So the access to the north might actually be better. I don't know. I mean, we might have to turn around and drive back out of here, but we're gonna keep going and try to find these other 2 parcels. They're just up here, another maybe a half a mile. All right, so I knew I'd find it. This is about a half a mile north of where we were just a few minutes ago, right down that way. And that's where the 1 acre parcel is. And here is a little bit of trash right here. This is like a little party spot, because I can see why, because we've got the opening here in the fence. So they've even tore it out where they can drive right on in here. Looks like somebody left an easy up out here. This is the California aqueduct, guys. And everybody knows what that is. It's a big body of water that goes from Northern California all the way down to Southern California. It's got plenty of water in it. Now, it would definitely be frowned upon, but you could actually, if you had a little pump in your vehicle. Sadie, don't even think about it. No, Sadie. That's what I was worried about. She went straight for the water. Now, if she did happen to go in there, I'd have to jump in after her. And they do have these little ladders periodically that you can grab. I mean, this thing's flowing pretty good. But what a great spot right here just to go fishing, you know? Super cool. Super cool, man. I mean, this is cool. And the other properties there, the other ones are just up this way. We're gonna keep moving. Come on, guys. I'll get you some water, but you're not getting in the canal. I brought some water. So I'm gonna give him some water. Get some water, Sadie. Here, I'll get you some more. Here, let Sadie have some. She didn't get any. Kind of a small bowl, but better than nothing. This is actually like a river that flows right through here. That's pretty steep, but I think I can make that without bottoming out. We're gonna try it. This thing is 4-wheel drive. Ooh, just a little scrape. And right there, the canal goes underground apparently. Got that bridge. It goes underground for just a small little... They had to leave that because the water, when it rains a lot, definitely comes running down through there.